In this tutorial, we are going to talk about how writing and submitting articles to article-related websites can help us increase the popularity of our website and help us in getting more inbound links to our website. Now, before we start writing an article, we need to have a clear idea of what we are going to write about. So we need to plan before we start writing. We need to pick a topic or a product on which we want to write. So first you need to think about what your article will be all about. You should plan it before you actually start writing. Sit down, have a deep thought about it, and think of the main points that you want to cover in your article. You do not want to be in a situation where you've actually started writing without any planning, and as you're writing, keep coming up with new ideas and you keep going back changing what you have already written. So before you actually do that, you need to write down the points that you want to discuss in your article. What you must do is to write unique content. Your article must be your own work. Of course, you can have the same idea, or you can be talking about the same product as many other articles already on the internet, but what you should write should be totally your thoughts, your ideas. Try to use simple language, simple English. Do not try to boast your vocabulary. Try to put proper grammar and tenses and make sure that you read your article once you've completed it. The main points that you can make about your articles is the heading, the subheading, and the paragraphs. Now you should have your heading and subheadings decided before you actually start writing. In this way, the data that needs to be written for each subheading will come naturally to you, and as you come to this stage, you will already have a lot of ideas on what you want to write on it. So the main thing to note is that you should create an order of where to put proper information in your article. So once you have marked out your headings and subheadings, that information will come naturally. Now when writing an article, you should try to write it in a simple text editor rather than using a more advanced word processing software. Now, of course, you can write it in the word processor, do all the grammar and spelling checks, and then go back and save it as a simple text file. Now, the reason behind this is because most websites where you submit articles, they have to be submitted in a simple text format. So you won't be able to submit your document files. And there are two very important parts of the article: the beginning and the conclusion. The beginning is where you're going to grasp the reader's attention and talk about the points that you're going to discuss in the rest of the article. Similarly, in the conclusion, you're going to sum up what already has been written, and you're going to give a small summary so that you're going through all the information that you have already mentioned. Now, some tips about writing articles. You should not put all capitals in your title tag. Using capital letters is like yelling at people, and it looks really bad. There are many websites that will not accept your articles if all your heading is written in capitals. Only use HTML when asked. Now, there is nothing worse for an editor when they find HTML code inside your article and they have to remove all the code before they can actually start reading it. So you must follow the guidelines of the website to which you are going to submit your article, and make sure that if they say no HTML, then your article should not contain any HTML tags. Only use simple HTML. If at all it is allowed to use HTML tags, then you should just use the basic, very basic HTML tags, like the paragraph tag, the bold tag, the italicized tag, the list bullet point tags, and the link tag, etc. These tags are considered to be the basic tags, and if HTML is allowed in the format, then these tags should be alright. Don't use articles to advertise your services within the content. Now, there is nothing worse than reading an article to find out that there are about 10 links in there which are owned by the author, and they are related to products or services that the author is offering at his or her website. Okay, there are some occasions where something unique can help people, and you need to get the word out. Some promotion is fine, but if you are embedding links only for the sake of advertising, then it's not a good idea. Even if you are putting some links, try to put links for information or services that are free. And when you submit multiple articles, try not to repeat these advertisements in all these articles. When the editors see this information repeated, it will become a little useless, and they might even cut it out. It's always a good idea to read the author's guidelines before you submit an article to a website. Don't submit press releases as tips. Now, there is a big difference between an article and a press release. Article talks about a specific subject, whereas a press release announces news about a company. So you should try to avoid press releases. Have your articles edited by editors. Now, it's very important to make sure that your material, your writing, is grammatically and contextually correct. Now, to do this, you should try to get others to read your work. You can get your friends, you can get your relatives, or you can even hire professional editors. But again, that is up to you. But the whole idea is that you must get your articles edited before you actually send them out to websites. Now, try to write something which is unique to the industry. If people are writing about the same thing, then you want to sound different. You don't want to bore people into reading what they've already read 10 times. Talk about something that you've discovered. Do your research properly. If you are talking about something new and you see that there is not much written on that content, then you might have found your winner. And at the bottom, the point I've mentioned is do not copy other people's content. Please do not do that. People often use other people's articles, just play around with them, change the title, change some of the headings, and submit them as their own work. Now, that does not work. You will get caught. You can, of course, use other content to gain knowledge or to get some points, but just changing somebody else's article and putting your name on top of it is certainly not on. And even if you are going to include something from someone else's article, put a quotation and make sure you give them enough credit. Now, if you are a regular article writer and you submit articles to article websites on a weekly basis, then what you should do is you should try to make a habit of finding new sites every week, new article submission sites, and the more, the better. There are so many of these going around, and new ones pop up almost weekly. I have given 5 examples of some new article submission websites. There's article99.com, a1articles.com, activeauthors.com, articlepros.com, freearticlezone.com. Okay, a few more points to consider when writing and submitting articles. Now, keep your author bio short and sweet. Now, the whole point of an author biography is to give a background of yourself. Now, if people start finding the whole contents of articles in your profile, they're not going to go and read your articles. Of course, you can put your links in your resource box, and this way people will come back to your website to see if you have new content. Do not buy articles from other companies and call them yours. Now, at the moment, there are hundreds of people selling what they call unique articles. They're available on eBay, they're available all over the internet. Now, please do not buy these articles. They have been sold and resold hundreds of times, and there are literally hundreds of people who've got their names on these articles. If you buy any article and submit it as your own, then just keep in mind the number of people or the number of times that article might already have been submitted on the internet by other people. So strictly write your own work and try not to attack others within your articles. Many article submission websites will not accept your work if you try to defame someone in your articles. Use copyright information at the bottom of your articles. There are pros and cons. Sometimes websites just remove the copyright information if it is part of the article. And they have the author bio area specifically designed for this purpose. You can write your copyright information, and if you are allowing other people to copy your content without or with permission. Affiliate links should never be used. Do not use affiliate links, period. Promoting affiliate links within your article is not a very good idea. And most article submission websites have a rule against listing affiliate links within articles, especially if there are in the body of your article. Set up manual submissions. Well, you're going to ask me, well, why should I submit them manually when there are so many article submission softwares available? Well, the answer is that there are so many article submission websites that require you to enter your login and password details, and some of them require you to enter the characters from an image. Now, the softwares cannot do that. Only a human being can do that. Submitting manually will take more time, but it will get you noticed more quickly. So to sum it up, let's look at some of the benefits of submitting articles. Well, writing an article is absolutely free. You're writing your thoughts on your computer with your hands. Your website will be noticed in a short period of time. Now, if you submit your articles to article directories and article websites that get a lot of traffic, then you will get noticed. Your website will get noticed. Make sure you enter your website details in the resource box of the article submission websites. This will help you get backlinks automatically. So when you submit your articles to directories, there will be other websites that will want to use your work. And of course, with the copyright terms, they will have to include the URL of your website. So in this way, you will be increasing the number of inbound links to your website. And last but not least, writing original content will improve your reputation. So if you write good articles and you can get people to visit your website, that might help your sales, and that is exactly what we are looking for, increasing the productivity of your website through writing these articles.